Hi, my name's Taryn Russell, and I'll be doing this week's video announcement. On Monday the 30th, we have the FFA Fort Worth Barrow Show, and that'll be going on until Thursday. We also have the Noah's Project visits during specials rotations, and then finally on Monday, we'll have one-act play rehearsal in the Bailey Auditorium from 6 to 9 p.m. And Mr. Best.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you know that on this day in history, in 1933, Hitler became Chancellor of Germany? This was just the beginning of his ruling. Hitler led his army and started concentration camps, killing millions and millions of people. Hitler then died in 1945. What do you know about that?
Well, I do teach that. Mrs. West does too, and probably several others here. I think World War II probably saw approximately 60 to 65 million people die, way ahead of their normal timetable. Yeah, terrible situation. Hitler goes down in history as one of the worst people who ever lived. But yeah, good point.
Sure. On Tuesday, the 31st, the FFA Fort Worth Barrow Show will be continuing. Also, we'll have the FFA Fort Worth Steer Show, which will start today. And we'll have Buckaroo and Lady Buckaroo basketball games versus Dublin played there. Times will be to my right. And finally, we'll have a PTO meeting in the South Cafeteria at 5:30 to 6:30. And Mr. Best.
Yes, ma'am.
On this day in history, Taylor Swift and Beyonce sweep the Grammy Awards with record-breaking wins.
Tell us.
At 19 years old, Swift is the youngest artist to ever win the award. Beyonce wins 6 out of 10 nominations, including Song of the Year for Single Ladies, giving her the most wins in one night of any female artist.
Very cool.
That tells you that girls rock.
You go, girls.
On Wednesday, February the 1st, the FFA Fort Worth Barrow Show will continue. The FFA Fort Worth Steer Show will also be continuing. Next, we have the Buckaroo Senior College Athlete Signing Day from 12:30 to 1, and I believe it's in the Fine Arts Center. We also have a 4-H meeting at South from 3:30 to 5 p.m. Hey, Mr. West.
Yes, ma'am.
On this day in history, in 2003, the Space Shuttle Columbia disintegrated on its way back to Earth. There were 7 astronauts aboard, and 2 of them were women, and the other 5 were men. Sadly, everyone was killed in the accident. The accident was caused by damage to the left wing's edge by debris from the external tank during the launch. So you teach rocket science, so do you know anything about that?
Yes, ma'am. I remember when that happened, and interestingly, in San Antonio, Texas, there's a company called Southwest Research. They do a lot of defense contractor work and stuff. They got the leading edge of, I believe, the Enterprise shuttle that was used in drop tests. They didn't actually fly it to space, but when they were, practicing with it. And I think they might have even gotten that out of the Smithsonian. And they shot some foam, the kind that would come off the external tank, right at the wing. And if you watch the video, it's on YouTube, you can hear everybody just kind of like take a deep breath and freak out, because it knocked a hole in the wing spar about 1.5 feet, 2 foot wide, and that is indeed what let all that hot plasma, so to speak, when they're coming back from space, get in there. So yeah, that was a terrible situation, and that led, of course, to the space shuttle being retired. So thank you for the info.
On Thursday the 2nd, this will be the final day of the FFA Fort Worth Barrow Show. The Steer Show will still be going on though. Up next, we have the Powerlifting Meet, which will be at home. We also have Bronco basketball versus early middle school played there. We also have Lady Bronco basketball versus early middle school played here, and all those times will be to my right. And finally on Thursday, we'll have one-act play rehearsal in the Bailey Auditorium. Hey, Mr. Best.
Yes, ma'am.
On this day in history, I Want to Know What Love Is by Foreigner becomes a 2-week run at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100.
And what year was that?
1985.
Gotcha.
It also topped the Cashbox Bestsellers chart, the UK Singles chart, and it made the top 10 in 16 other countries.
Wow.
The song would become the band's 3rd platinum single in the US and their first and only gold single in the UK. It was certified platinum in the UK in 2020. And
cool.
Mr. Best, how old were you in 1985?
I believe I would have been 24. And I have to say, at the time, I don't think I knew what love was, but I do now.
On Friday the 3rd, this will be the final day of the steer show. We'll also have Buckaroo and Lady Buckaroo basketball games versus early, and they will be here. All the times will be to my right. This will be the senior night for Lady Buckaroos, so make sure you come and support them. On Saturday the 4th, there will be the San Angelo Market Lamb Goat Show. And finally, there will be the Lady Buckaroo Softball Tournament in Abilene. We don't know the times yet, but we will post them as soon as we can. I hope everybody has a great week, and go Bucks and Broncos.